All right, guys, welcome back to another episode Up and Running. Thanks for watching. All right, something I've always said is that if you have women or classic cars, you're going to have a problem. Well, today, my woman is just fine. It's the classic car that's the problem. The 69 Super Bee, I noticed it when I was driving the other day. The brake pedal seemed like it was getting harder and harder to push, to come to a stop. And then I also noticed when I was sitting at a stoplight, I was starting to get a little vibration out of the engine. So I came home, took a quick look. I determined that it was a vacuum leak that was making the engine run rough. But it's nothing really like screaming obvious that's making the brakes not work. So let's take a look at it and see if we can figure out what's going on. Okay guys, this is always one of those fun things that happens when you make a video. So I managed to lose all the footage of when I was actually doing this. So I'll give you guys a rundown on what was going on and what I discovered. So here is the original check valve that goes in the booster, and this is the old one right here. And what I discovered is that when the hose was on it, I was pinching it off. I would get some vibration out of the engine when it was open, and I discovered that it was indeed broken into two pieces. So that was creating probably just a small vacuum leak. I don't think this was the whole problem, though. One thing that I discovered about this is not only was it broken and into two pieces, but if I blew through it, I can blow both directions without any resistance at all. There's supposed to be a check in here that only allows the airflow to go this direction and not this direction. So you should be able to build up vacuum inside this booster, and that's what helps you, have the vacuum for the brakes. This check valve did not have that, and also it's in two pieces. So this was definitely bad and needed to be replaced. So I went and got a new one. To be honest, this one is crap. I got it so it'll work, but the problem is exactly the same. I'm getting a vibration in the engine, and it gets worse when I push the brake. I don't know if you'll be able to see it for sure, but I'll start the car up, and I think we'll be able to see it. So right now, there's just a hint of a little vibration. This engine usually runs pretty smooth, but I'm going to go ahead and hit the brake. The brake pedal's really hard, and I don't know if you noticed the vibration in the air cleaner. If you watch that, definitely picked up, and the hood's shaking a little bit. So I just let off the brake, and it's smoothing out now. There's still just a hint of a vibration, so I'm getting a vacuum leak somewhere. There you could probably see it again. The tone of the engine changed a little bit, and the brake pedal is very hard to push. I just let off, and it's smoothed out a little bit. It's fairly subtle, but you can definitely see the difference. Believe it or not, this new check valve actually helped the situation out a fair amount. It was a little more pronounced before I replaced that check valve. That definitely did a little bit of good. But so not only did we have a bad check valve, but it looks like we're going to need to do something with the booster as well. All right, we're going to take the car around the block, and I'm going to see what it feels like and see if you guys can see what's going on with it. What's interesting is that when the car's idling and I'm backing out and I first hit the pedal, it feels like I have the power brakes, but it quickly goes away. Like if I keep pressing the pedal, I'm definitely losing it. I'm going to see what the idle's like. See, like there, I really had to push it to stop. I wish you guys could feel it. I feel the whole car shaking right now. You know, it's definitely got some kind of a leak going on. I'm going to see what it's like when I first get to the stop sign to see if I have power brakes. Just for like a split second I had it, and then it just quickly went away, and I really had to push hard on the pedal to make the car stop. Let's try it again here. Yeah, I had it for just like a second, and then it almost instantly goes away, and I have to really push hard on the pedal to get the car to stop. We'll try to go up to this stop sign about 1,000,000 miles an hour, and hopefully we can't stop. You really got to push hard right now. I actually feel like I hear a little hiss from under the dash. Like right here, I definitely feel like a little shake. I don't know if you guys can see it in the camera or not, but you know, there's something going on, and then it like smooths right out when you get back on the gas. So, all right, well, on to the next thing. I'm going to check out the booster. All right, so today we're going to go ahead and pull the booster off. Something I did off camera as well is I grabbed a vacuum gauge and I pumped this booster up, and it held kind of, you know, for a while. But as soon as you touch the brake pedal, it would lose all of the vacuum. So there's definitely a leak in there. So I was able to confirm that. So I'm going to pull this booster out. I'm going to try to take the bolts off of the master cylinder. It should come forward enough, hopefully enough, where I can, you know, work the booster out of there without, you know, having to rebleed the brakes and everything like that. So we're going to go for it. All right, so this is totally loose now. And everything is should come out on it. There we go. There is a spacer here. The good thing is there's no brake fluid on here, and I have not been losing any. So I know the master's not leaking. So anyway, let's. The next part of this is going inside the car and disconnecting everything in there. So you saw there was a little vacuum in there, I think, yeah, because I had the car running. And we're going to get the booster loose from the inside. It's really tight under there. I'm probably not going to film it, but there's 4 bolts that hold the booster to the firewall. So I'm just going to spin those loose, and then there's one that holds the rod into the brake pedal mechanism. I am going to disconnect the battery, so otherwise the brake pedal is going to drop and the brake lights will stay on. I thought about just propping it up, but I'm just going to take the battery off, and that way there's no issue. Okay, so I was doing some checking here, and I think I can't even get my hand up here to point. We're going to take 2 bolts out down here. We're going to take that one out and that one out. And I think that'll, because we're never going to get the one that's buried up in there out. And so that should allow us to get that out in here. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay, I got the bolts out from under the dash, extremely tight under there. So hopefully this comes loose now. Oop, there we go. Let's see what's hanging up here. Oh, the rubber boot is hanging up. We got to pull some linkage through. There we go. We got it. Whoo! That's it. All right, so that's what that looks like out here. And then that wiring went on top. And then we were able to just leave the master cylinder just hang there. There was enough play in the lines where it easily went out of the way. So now we just got to get the booster situation rectified. All right, so here's the booster. This is the back side. These are the two bolts that I had to take out, one here and one here. This one was between two metal pieces like this. I don't know that you'd ever gotten that one out. I'll take that off so when I get the booster rebuilt, that doesn't end up disappearing. But the other thing that I was going to tell you about, this one did not have a nut on it in the car. I know this booster's been replaced before. That one is super tough to get to as well. I'm sure all the Mopar guys know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm going to do what's right and hopefully try to find a nut and put that on when I reinstall it in the car. But if it becomes an impossible task without tearing the dash out, I'll just do the 3 method just like everybody else does. So if you look at this booster, it's clamped together. It's a 2-piece booster. This is the front side. This is the way it was mounted in the car. You can kind of see down in there maybe a little bit. Maybe not. But anyway, that goes like that. And that's the part that you see. And of course, that's where the check valve goes. So, all right, well, let's get this rebuilt. All right, so we got the brake booster back. We sent it to Power Brake Booster Exchange in Linwood, Washington. They did, you know, they were easy to deal with. They did a nice job. So now we just got to put it back in the car. All right. I put a little lube on all the components in here. So let's go ahead and stick this back in the car. All right, so I got to feed this through the firewall right back here. All right, come on. There we go. All right, it's going through now. Get the wires out of there. We don't want the wires to get caught up in there. There it goes. Okay. Now hopefully it'll stay there. I'm going to go inside and put a couple nuts on it, get that started, and then we'll worry about this out here. Again, I'm not going to film inside there. It's pretty dark, pretty tight. All right, I've got this all put together under here. I'll show it to you. There you can see it right up there. So it's just so tight up there you can't film anything. All right, let's go do the underhood stuff. All right, so first thing we got to do is get this thing off of here. Just pull off. All right, so what it says on here is important 2-piece spacer is required to function. They're talking about this piece right here. So that's what they're referring to there. So, all right, so now I'm going to use my tool. This is to, if I can get it out of here. This is for setting the brake boosters. The distance of the shaft here. If I can see it. There we go. So what you do is you push that rod in as far as it goes to the bottom of the booster, and then that is how far in the shaft starts in here. I always like to double check it once, make sure that it's good to go. You know, I kind of wiggle it around, make sure it's all the way bottomed out. And then you use the other side of it. There's thread on the end of this shaft, and what you do, kind of move the booster or the master out of the way. Oh, I got to get this on first. All right, we need to put this guy on, and then you make sure this rod is all the way back. There's like a little detent in there, and it goes into that hole. So you slide this on. Alright. Push that in. Then you take this tool. This is a little bit challenging here because there's a few things in the way, but let's oh boy, they set that right on the money. They must have known exactly where that needed to be. So, but anyway, we checked it. We're good to go with the tool. So now we just need to get this mounted up. Just making sure I'm not forgetting anything. There we go. Oh, there we go. We got it. Now we just got to put the booster line on. Oh, that works pretty well. All right, pliers. Okay, just thinking now, this is everything we need. There's actually supposed to be a hook here to hold those wires, but it's missing from this car. But it's always just sat up there just fine. I haven't had any, issues or anything like that with it. So, all right, I think we're good to go. I'm just going to double check everything inside the car, and then we can fire it up and see how it works. All right, I have the battery off, so let's go ahead and put that back on. Nothing smoking out here anyway. All right, let's see if it starts. All right, so I did the radiator as well, so we're going to be checking that at the same time. So let's see if it starts. Let me just check and see if the brake lights are on real quick to see if that switch is set right. All right, they're not on. This car hasn't been running like a month, so it's going to crank a little bit. There she goes. So my brake light is on. I got to figure out why that's on. The pedal feels a little odd as well, so I got to do a little troubleshooting, I guess. All right. right, here we go. Oh, we got brakes. Yeah, there's just way more power than there used to be. I'm definitely not used to that. Got a bee in here too. They just love this car. Wow, it really stops extremely nice. I'm totally not used to that. Stops well. Alright, I'm going to call that successful. I'm going to let this thing warm up and then finish off the coolant, because I'm sure that it needs some more coolant in it. I think the thermostat just opened. I just looked down and the temp went up and now it's dropping way down. Kind of where it should be. Yep, got someone coming here. All right, well, that's going to wrap it up for this Super Bee project. I hope you enjoyed it. Neither one of these were like horribly hard. You know, every little project will have a little bit of a challenge to it, but you know, it went pretty well overall, and I think the results were good. So, you know, I got to drive it a little more and double check that there's no other issues, but it seems like it was a success. So, thanks for watching.